3DO.
They came from the depths of the void, an ancient enemy of an ancient people. No one knows why they hate us so, or why they have made war upon us. Some say the struggle against their evil is the mandate of heaven. Though their origins and purpose are shrouded in mystery, their plan is simple. They travel, they land, and then they conquer. Now, they are here on our world to do to us what they have done to so many others. And they will do it, unless someone stops them. Come with me. You have much to learn before you can deal with the likes of those monsters. Since the arrival of the devils, foul creatures and evil spirits have appeared throughout the land. These signs and omens can have but one meaning, that your destiny is part of the mandate of heaven.
Okay, so I guess this is my first real YouTube video that I'm ever recording. So maybe it sounds kind of weird to myself that I'm talking to myself, but it's funny. Just a bit of a preview or a reason why I'm recording this now, as opposed to why I never recorded anything before, and that was because this is a game, or Might and Magic is basically a game that I've been playing I played for years as a teenager, and quite a number of people have tried to record the game or play the game and then try to create a video of somebody playing the game, and it always sucks. And I feel like I need to do this game some justice, because this game took up so much of my childhood. This game, along with Might and Magic 7, which of course is the best one, Might and Magic 8 was okay. I felt like it was kind of rushed. 9 was weird. And so, of course, ever since 3DO went out of business, they sold their rights for the games to Ubisoft. And that was quite a number of years back. And now the game franchise is basically dead. Now, the reason why these games here are particularly good is because the story behind them is actually quite interesting. It's very different than any of the other Might and Magics. I guess Might and Magic 3 was probably my first one that I ever played as a kid, and it took me years to finally beat it. And I wanted to try to go through the game again and see what it's like. I remember this game being the most difficult out of the three. I'd like to try to record all three of them, Might and Magic 6, 7, and 8. And I wanted to, see how well I can play this, because, really, I guess I'm 38 now. I played this game when I was like 12 or 13, maybe 14. And so it's something that, you know, it's something that really meant a lot to me. And I probably played these games like 20, not, I mean, without joking, 30, maybe 20 to 30 times over each. And you know, I think it's worth trying this out again. Anyway, I compute.
Having
Well,
cheated death during the night of shooting stars, you find yourself as far from your village of Sweetwater as old Falagar's magic could take you. 3 years have passed while Falagar imparted what knowledge he could to train you in your chosen professions. But the time came at last when he could teach you no more, and you have ventured into the world to seek your fame and fortune. Now, a world away from your lost home, you have stumbled across evidence of a terrible conspiracy involving a new religious cult. 5 letters from King Roland to his wife Catherine, and a letter from the King of the Devils to a wicked traitor named Sulman have turned up in an abandoned goblin camp. Your fate seems inextricably bound to these letters and that awful night, and your role in the events to come may be larger than anyone could imagine. The tools you have are but a small sum of gold, your wits, and a lot of potential. The roads ahead are infinite, and all the choices are yours to make. So choose wisely. Good luck.
So this is one of the really crazy things about these games is that you basically have to know what you're doing when you start playing the game, and you know, most people, they take a look at this and they'd be like, okay, this is clearly a Dungeons and Dragons game, you know, what am I you know, my major classes, but without actually playing the game, you don't really know like which classes, for example, are the best. You know, which ones, you know, are good for utility. And, you know, there's quite a big difference between Might and Magic 6, 7, and 8. 6 is very different in that anybody that can learn anything can master it, as opposed to the other games where not everybody can master it. And there's certain things that are useful in this game more than others. Probably the most useful in terms of magic is probably air magic. Probably followed closely by water magic. Healing is pretty important, but the thing is that it gets old very quickly because healing doesn't heal you enough as it should. The best offense in this game is a good defense, and that is, you don't want to, in particular this game, the number of enemies that the game throws at you are ridiculous. You will walk into a room and you will encounter hundreds of enemies that are all throwing fireballs at you at once. And some of them are like just terrible, like the things that they can do, the monsters things that they can do. So you never want to take on more than, you know, 2 or 3 monsters at once. Now, that being said, sometimes it's unavoidable. But that's the way it is. And so since curing is not so important, paladins, which historically, you know, have a bit of, you know, strength, but they also have a bit of personality, which is helpful for healing magic. And we don't need healing magic, because healing magic sucks in this game. So best thing to do is to pick a knight instead of a paladin. Archers are good, but the truth is that everybody can use bows in this game, and since everybody can use bows and everyone can master bows, there's nothing special about archers. So really, you're either looking at another paladin or knight. You only need 1 healer, and you only need 1 sorcerer, so it just makes sense to have another knight. The great thing about what happens here now is, you know, these are usually the characters I usually use. The thing is, you can actually spend and subtract bonus points. Like, for example, knights don't use any intellect or personality, so giving them any intellect or personality whatsoever is like, there's no point to it. It's not even useful. And so you can subtract off of it to get like bonus points so that you can use for, across the across all of your characters, at least to start with. Having a sorcerer is very important. That will give you, basic elemental magic, including air magic, which is incredibly important. So you pick one of those. Pick air magic always. Identify is pretty important. You don't want to ever equip something without actually knowing what it is. And furthermore, it might be better than what you already have. So, it's good to have somebody who's able to do some level of identifying. Getting back to, so that would be for the sorcerer, for the cleric. Clerics are pretty good. You're going to need one, even though I said, their magic healing kind of sucks, but their buffs, the things that you can get with their magic is pretty awesome. And, you want to make sure that she has some way of defending herself, because currently she doesn't have any skill in leather or anything like that. So you pick a shield and start with a shield. You can pick leather, but the truth is that leather it's easy to get, and some of the other skills cost more later on in the game. So spirit and mind, for example, to learn those costs a lot more than it costs to learn how to use leather. So you don't really want that. Now, spirit and mind, they're both very useful, but early on in the game, they're not really important. And you already have identify item, and having the ability to repair something is pretty important. In terms of intellect, it's helpful to have extra points of intellect. I'd give, my sorcerer a bit of intellect. And the thing is that might is actually very underrated in this. It's very important, because you're not going to be throwing fireballs all the time. So you really want to max out might, because really most of your attacks that you're going to be doing in this game are going to be physical. And you just don't want to, you basically want to max out might as much as possible, except for your cleric and your sorcerer. Now, another important skill is speed. Now, you do not want to be slow in this game. The monsters are very quick. And so, having the ability to move faster is, better. Accuracy is okay. I mean, you might need a point or two. See, the thing is that you want to make sure that your characters are, strong enough to start the game. But these stats will all go up as the game goes on, so you don't need to fret too much over this, but you really can spend like an hour on this screen. I'm not going to do that because I don't have time for that. Another thing to note is that the sorcerers don't use any personality, but they do use intellect. And likewise, the clerics use personality, but they don't use intellect, so they don't need any of that. So we've just freed up some more points that, can be used for other things. Luck is kind of nice, but it's not so important. Endurance basically says, how many hit points you're going to have. Having a good amount of hit points is important. The personality is kind of helpful. I mean, maybe a point, but really, mostly in this game, when it says might and magic, it's mostly going to be might. And the magic's kind of like an afterthought. Anyway, getting back to where we were, you should take bow if you have bow. Bow is hard to get early on, and it's expensive. If you do, I think it's like 2,000 gold, and that's a lot. The other thing is it's very important to have somebody who can disarm traps, because pretty much every single treasure chest or any box in this game is always trapped, and so you're never gonna win without a disarm trap. You only really need one guy to do it, and usually it's going to be your strongest guy, because he's going to be the one that's always going to be alive. And so if you need to you can quickly get out of whatever situation you're in, making sure that you're able to quickly grab your treasure and go run is most important. So giving him disarm trap is important, but you don't need to give more than one person disarm trap. As such, we have disarm trap here, but now it basically leaves open, for this knight. What are we going to do? We can give her a shield. Shield's pretty important. And shield is pretty important here as well. But the truth is that if you had to pick shield or disarm trap, disarm trap is probably the bigger one because it's very easy to learn shield. So I have one more skill point to use, and I'm gonna pick this. Just give her a little bit more might. The cool thing about this game is that there's two other classes, and you might think that they might sound cool. Archers, they're basically some mix between a knight and a sorcerer, which is kind of like weird. But the idea is that it can use a little bit of magic, but a little bit of offensive magic. But again, offensive magic is not really where the damage is in this game. Druids are basically like some kind of mixture between sorcerers and clerics. They're okay at stuff, but they're actually pretty sucky at both. And you really don't need two characters that are able to use, because druids basically they're basically a mixture between cleric and sorcerer, and so they're able to use like all these magic types, but as a result they also can't use black or white magic, so they're very restricted, and black and white magic are some of the most powerful spells in the game, so you really don't want to limit yourself there. And you also don't want to, so really I never really saw a need for archer and druid in this game. Really you're just going to need, paladins are kind of iffy, maybe sometimes you need a little heal here and there, but like, they're going to be low on intellect and personality. The amount of MP or magic, that they're able to cast stuff is going to be like ridiculously low. And the amount that they actually cure, whenever they do a cure, is going to be stupid. So in this game, it really is not important to have more than one healer. And again, the reason why you have the healer is mostly for the for the buffs that the characters are able to get. So I think I'll start with this. Some of these other skills are useful. Identify item we already have. You don't need more than one person to do that. Diplomacy in this game is kind of weird. You don't really need it. Not really useful for anything. Except, to have certain characters talk to you, which is kind of weird. Anyway, I think this is good enough just to start the game. The other thing is that I was going to start, recording using a YouTube account, but it makes you wait 24 hours, and I'm sure you already know that. It would make you wait 24 hours before you're able to use your account with YouTube, which I was like, that's kind of weird. But anyway, I've talked enough. So we'll start the game. So it dumps you here. And you notice right away is that the game is an old game. The graphics are really old. This game, you have certain things that you're going to need more than others. You're going to definitely need health, and food. Food is a big thing. And you don't want to be low on food, ever. Yeah, it's one of the things I don't like about this game. But anyway, the NPCs that you see walking around, no, they're basically... they all look exactly the same, but they all do different things, and they all have very, very different uses. Now, one of the things I think that is really helpful in this game, there's certain skills that are more useful than others, especially early on. One of the things you're going to need the most of is money. Now, money doesn't actually buy so much in the game. Like, you might buy a few items here and there from the shops, but like for the most part, that's not so helpful. What you need money mostly for is for training, because training is very expensive. Every single time you're able to gain another level, you're able to use training to help you. And in order for you to actually gain level ups, and that also increases your statistics, makes you stronger, and it gives you more skill points. And the skill points are really where the game matters, is the skill points, and the gear itself matters a lot less. Certain characters here are more important than others in terms of people to have. They're all randomized. Every time you load the map, you'll get, different people that have different things that they do. Certain people offer nothing in this game, so they're kind of useless. But certain people do offer some things.
Greetings and salutations.
Like this person will help you. A burglar will help you be able to increase your, it helps you to increase your disarm trap skills. And that's kind of cool. And 8 points is nice. Now in this game, reputation is actually pretty important. It's only really important for one thing, and that is you want to maximize out your reputation in order to be able to master light magic. So you only really need it in order to get light magic. Once you have light magic, then you don't need to care about it anymore. So you kind of have to be a goody two-shoes in this game. And so you want to make sure that your magic, that you don't go around killing NPCs, because you can. So out of the most useful ones that exist at this time, if you by the way, if you reload the map, the characters, the NPCs will reload, and you'll be able to, it gets randomized, what kind of things they give you. Now in this game, it's in this game, getting some of these characters, you're able to have 2 of these extra characters around with you at all times. Just make sure you don't die, because otherwise you will lose them. But in terms of which ones are the most useful, is probably having a banker.
Hello.
And we got really lucky, because sometimes it takes you forever to find one of these. But in this game, if people don't like you, my sources tell me that you have committed a number of crimes. They say you may have even killed. So this person is a good person, and so the higher your reputation is, the more likely it is they'll talk to you. Now, I really need a banker. And here's the thing. She needs 1,000 gold. So it is totally worth it. The problem is I don't start off with 1,000 gold, and I forgot about that. You cost a bit to hire, but basically what's going to happen is they give you 20% bonus on all the gold you find, and then they take 10%. So basically you get a net 10%. So by giving them 1,000 gold and keeping them in your party, you always get 10% more gold. And you can stack that with another banker. But what's more important at this point in the game is not so much the money is helpful, but having the experience points is really what matters the most. There are a few secrets when you start this game that you should know about. Quite a number of people do not know these, but there is a hidden scroll over here. If you go up to the bank and you go over to the face that you see over here, and you select, then what happens is it gives you a let's see here, where is it? There it is. It gives you a scroll of fly, which is amazing. you don't want to use it without knowing what you're doing, but it is an incredible spell. And having a scroll of fly, it will respawn, but you just want to keep it for one particular thing and use it for that one particular thing. This point in the game, having the scroll of fly is not so helpful in terms of what you're going to do right away, but you definitely want to pick up that scroll of fly. And the other thing you want to do is you always want to go into the stables here and pick up the horseshoes you see. You probably want to hoard these horseshoes. Horseshoes are really important because they give you extra skill points, and sometimes you'll need extras. You go to your characters, and you can see, you know, they've already given you some basic equipment, so you can start off with some stuff. Here they give me, you know, a basic dagger, and, you know, it gives me a spell of static charge and flaming arrow, which static charge is kind of nice, but it's not really useful. This is it's actually a pretty good ring. This is a permanent speed of 4, so I'm going to put that on him. She comes with a mace because we taught her mace to start with. She's probably going to have a cure wounds here, or first aid. There you go, because she's a cleric. And she's got a speed +5. Now it's pretty lucky that, you know, that we've got, and a personality +3. What? It's insane. It's going to increase her magic. So her magic has gone up a bit. So the amount of healing power she has, you know, she's able to cure more, and so that's kind of more important at this point in the game. You take the whatever you got to start with, and you basically equip it. So you want to be careful about certain things in this game. Don't pick up certain things that you're not supposed to, because what happens is if you do pick up certain things, then your reputation just can go down by itself. You can always check your reputation by where is it? Somewhere in here. Huh. Where is the reputation? There's a way to... There it is. My reputation right now is bad. That's because I begged. You can easily restore your reputation if it gets below, you know, neutral, by just going to church and then donating some money. But at this point, you really, I really don't care. Well, no, I guess it makes sense to do that. But first, what's more important right now is making sure that I am able to have certain air magic to start with. Most important spell right now is Magic Eye. You don't see in the upper right hand corner. You don't see, you know, what, you know, where the good guys are, where the bad guys are, and so that having that ability to see that is incredibly important. I know that one of the people inside here give you the ability to they give you the ability to learn magic, or to, well, first, in order to learn the magic, you need to have you need to be part of a guild.
How are you?
And if you're not part of the guild, then they won't let you buy magic there.
Closed.
Hello.
So, you know, just walking around trying to find the
Hi.
people who give you the option to have the the skill elemental guild membership. This is important. So I am one. Now I see why people talk when they make these YouTube videos, because otherwise who's going to read this stuff as fast as you? So you may as well say it out loud, right? Anyway, I'm the one you need to speak to in order to join the Guild of the Elements. The cost to join is 100 gold pieces. Only members may purchase spells from our fine library. The guild has spells from all 4 of the elemental disciplines, and like all guilds in the kingdom, we have 2 guild halls. Membership in one automatically rolls you in the other. There's an elemental guild here in this area, and so you're going to need it. We're going to need a spell of.
Thank you.
So I gave him 100 gold, so now I can actually buy spells. First thing to do is make sure you get any quests you can find. So we're going to take a quest here. Our town is periodically plagued by giant spiders. I'm pretty sure that if the Spider Queen were killed, the rest of the spiders would go away. Currently, I am offering a reward to the person that can kill the Spider Queen. So this is probably going to be the first real quest that you're going to actually do in this game.
Hello.
There's a guild for the... Join the Self Guild for 100 gold. I mean, may as well.
Thank you.
So here's this person. She's all unhappy. Her daughter Angela is missing. She wandered into the abandoned temple near town, and so, and if she did, you know, what kind of terrible danger and stuff like that. So you have to find her. Now, what's helpful is that both of these two quests that you just got can both be done, are both done in the same dungeon.
How are you?
So it's worth picking up them before otherwise you might not be able to get the characters that you need. That you might not be able to rescue them because sometimes they don't let you. So there's other places that offer you membership. You really don't need to worry about that right now. Although we are kind of limited right now. I purposely I put on this because I don't want to use up my time in the day. The game time is put to a halt when you press the enter key. And this is actually really helpful in case you're coming across a whole bunch of monsters. But because it like puts everything into a turn-based mode. Anyway,
I need your help.
we're going to go into the town hall, and we're going to get a few more quests. Members of the Shadow Guild have moved down south recently, have been trying to exert their influence over merchants in the area. I refused them access to our town, though they kidnapped Sherry Carnegie, an old healer loved by the townspeople, in an attempt to convince me to let them operate here. So now you need to go rescue Sherry. This person is so tired of the Shadow Guild, but they don't have any substantial proof. They would love to have proof that the Shadow Guild is up to no good. This is an unofficial quest, having information to show them that. The other quest you can get here is Goblin Watch. Just south of town is an old keep called Goblin Watch. It was originally built to keep the town safe from the goblin raids, but times have been so peaceful recently that we haven't been taking care of it. And you can imagine our embarrassment when we realized that the very monsters we were guarding against have moved into the keep. So now this keep that's meant to keep goblins out have been overrun by goblins. They also changed the lock on a very important door leading to the cave below. They're going to give a reward for 2,000 gold pieces. Anyone who could figure out the combination and tell them what it is. Truth is, I already know what the combination is because it's static. At this point, though, in the game, we're not going to go there. It's going to be it would kill us real fast. And the reason why I'm like spending my time talking instead of actually going out and doing stuff is because this game is one where you really have to know exactly what you're doing when you're going out. Otherwise, you can totally F everything up. Anyway, I guess we can get started. Over here, there is... Oh, crap. So you can see the green lights down here. If they turn yellow, it means there's a monster nearby. And it means that they're actually approaching you if you can see them in yellow. And so you don't really want to... yeah. So there's a kind of a cool trick, super secret that you're able to do at this point in the game. I don't know if I want to do it just yet. It's a very, 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 very important Okay. Actually, yeah, it would be helpful. It gives you a bit of a head start. It's cheap, but at this point in the game, you're like, okay, well, what am I going to do, right? You're going to go around and start killing stuff. The thing is that you're going to... You can spend forever doing that, and so there's a trick you can do to get a head start real fast. And we're going to do that. There's a trick. Super secret. Let's go to my inventory. If we're going to use this scroll of fly. Oh gosh, I wish they had given me a spell of... Okay. We're not going to do it just yet. I need more gold, and I need the ability to fly to see the monsters on the screen, because you're going to loot real fast if you don't do that. So I'm going to walk over here. I'm going to come across some monsters. So I left arrows on bows on 2 of my characters. Oh god, this brings back memories. This... Okay, so I'm getting royally murdered here. Okay. So that really sucked. Oh, I start with Wizard Eye. I totally forgot that you start with Wizard Eye. Wizard Eye is basically basic. you need Wizard Eye. Anyway, my characters are nearly dead. I'm gonna heal my characters by drinking from this thing here. So put them back basically to normal. Sometimes, you know, getting attacked and getting knocked out will delete the items in your inventory. Or no, it'll not delete the... but can break them, and so right now you don't want to really at this point in the game, as you can see, it's, you know, you just like step out of town and you're trying to like, okay, let me go ahead and kill something. Like you can't just go out there and kill something in this game. You will die. You'll die real fast. There is a special thing here you can do here first. There's... Yeah, I gave them all some extra luck, permanent luck. And what we're going to do here is the following. I'm going to first save my game, because the chances of you losing here are pretty high. You dying, really. In this game, dying is not so bad because your characters just restart back at town. But like dying does kind of suck, in the sense that you lose all your money unless it's inside a bank. Now, money that's inside a bank is actually not. It's not actually, doesn't accrue interest. It just, you know, it just sits there so that basically you don't, in case you die. So it's worth it to keep money in the bank, but really not so useful, because in this game you really don't want to die at all. Anyway, I'm going to use my spell of fly. I'm trying to think here for a second, because there's 2 things you want to do real fast in this game. And since I am playing this on a Mac,